Hello Internet, another bulky EVGA 2080 Ti on my bench for repair. Look how thick this thing is. Incredible. Anyway, the customer stated artifacts, low resolution, or some sort of crashing errors, so let's go straight into the memory test. Memory test has failed. Let's open up the report, and looks like we need to look at the F1. And as I disassemble the card, please note the quality check sticker on the right. This sticker is a red flag. If you see a sticker like that, run very far away from it. The card you see has been tampered with, and someone had the balls to apply a fake EVGA factory seal over the existing sticker. If you look closely, you can see that one sticker is directly above the original. In any case, let's continue with the removal of the memory chip in question. This time we got lucky, it's Samsung, so we don't have to worry about replacing the entire set. Once chip was removed, I was expecting the pads and I decided to inspect the core solder joint, and this is what I saw. Lots of dirt and some kind of flux and possibly even bridged pads, so next thing to do before soldering another chip is to check for data lines. As usual, I will be looking at my cheat sheet while poking all the data and command lines with the multimeter, hoping I would find one that's not like the rest. Since I didn't find anything abnormal, I decided to rebuild the original chip and try to reuse it. And because what I saw under the core, I want to rebuild the core just in case. I'll be using my cheap preheater with a custom-made holding jig that I made myself. It allows me to secure the board flat, so it does not warp. I will then position the temperature probe close to the core and apply some flux. Once chip becomes loose, I will lift it out of the way using my custom-made suction pen that I integrated into the station. Then I mix the existing solder on the board with leaded solder, followed by cleaning it up with a wick. And while the board is still hot, I will pick up the residual flux with the swab, and then I'll clean the pads by adding more flux. That seems like a waste of flux, but it's fast because I don't have to wait for it to cool down. With the core fixed in the jig and the hot air blowing from the top, which you cannot see, I will mix the existing solder balls with the leaded solder as before, followed by wicking the pads until they're all flat and wiping it clean with another dose of flux as before. Once chip is cooled and super clean and dry, it's just a matter of getting the right amount of flux. Apply too much and balls will stick. Apply too little and balls will get blown away. Once you start applying heat, sometimes balls will like to move around, so you want to have them adjusted before you go any further, so be sure to have a tool ready when you're doing this. As you hit the chip, flux will evaporate and some of the balls may not perfectly attach to the pads. In that case, apply some flux to help them flow, but be sure balls are soldered to the pads at least to some degree, otherwise adding flux will make them move around. Then the cleaning. Ultrasonic, if you have one, is always a plus. Apply a thin layer of flux and set the chip. I will try to solder this memory chip while the rest of the board is getting hot, and as you would expect, too much flux caused the chip to shift, so I have to reball it quickly once more and try again. Now let's watch the core slowly sink to the board as the balls melt. Once I notice that the core has kind of dropped, I give it a little bit of push just to make sure it bounces back, and that's my indicator that it's soldered. As usual, every time you solder a memory or the core, we absolutely have to check for resistances on 1.8. PEX and memory, because all of those are affected by those three. That looks good. I am ready to plug it in and run a memory test. Perfect, we get a pass. Now let's clean this mess left by the previous repair guy. Mark the core with an X of death using thermal paste MX4 and close it up. As always, firm work is the weapon of choice. Quick Valley is another great way to confirm that the card is working as expected, and this is it for this card. If you guys have learned something from this repair, you owe me a like and a comment below, and if you need a repair, feel free to contact me by following the link in the description. And if you're interested in any of the equipment that I use, I will be leaving a link to every single one of those, at least to most of them anyway, in the description as well, so please do check them out. And I'll see you later. Goodbye.